So, it's almost the end of 2025. As of me filming this, it is December 29th or 28th of 2025, and well, here's about to end. It's kind of weird to think about what happened this year with just everything in general, but also Transformers. I have now been collecting for over a year. Collecting Transformers for over a year. It's a weird thing to think about, really. When I initially got my Shockwave and Wheeljack figures, I never really thought I'd get into this toy line and everything as much as I have gotten into it. I have, I think, 117 Transformers, mind you, regular Transformers, not blockies or model kits or anything like that. And now it's like weird. If you guys know what I mean, at least it's weird. And this year has had so many ups and downs for me. This year has been so great for my collection, but at the same time, it's been horrible on my wallet. And I just want to talk about it because when I initially started collecting Transformers, like I said, never thought I would get into the hobby this hard, but I think I kind of joined at the perfect time for someone who's new. Because now with 2025, we are getting so many new figures. I have this Megatron and this Optimus right here, but that's just the toppings on the cake. Not even like the frosting. It's the toppings. It's weird. I've gotten 2 combiners, a Titan class figure. I've gotten the definitive G1 Optimus and Megatron. I've gotten so many things this year, and at the same time, it's like what's even the point of all this? If you know what I mean. You kind of approach those points here, and like collectors always kind of approach that point where they're like, what's even the reason why I'm doing all this exactly? Just to have a bunch of cool looking toys on my shelf and it just displayed. I mean, kind of is the only thing that you could really think about. I mean, some people do it like as a job in a sense, like toy reviewers, but for me, I'm not. Well, I am a toy reviewer, mind you, but I'm not a humongous one that actually makes a living off of this. But what I am is a fan of Transformers toys. I wouldn't say the shows or the movies as much. Mind you, I've watched the majority of, but at least the majority of the movies with the exception of the original movie and The Last Night. But let's be honest here, The Last Night's not exactly what I need to watch. But it's weird. 2025 is arguably the most bipolar year I think we've had for Transformers. I don't know what's moving this camera, but something's moving this camera. Anyway, it's like, so obviously this year we got good old 86 Megatron, we got Age of Extinction Optimus, we got Megatronus right here, and we got Devastation Optimus Prime, we got Superion, who's in the back. Actually, you can't see him, but he's there. In fact, you can see that's Firefly. You could see Firefly's tip right there. You wouldn't know what I mean by tip, I hope. But it's weird to think about that, to think about how many good figures have released this year, and some have re-released. For example, here's Shockwave, good old Studio Series Shockwave from Dark of the Moon, my favorite figure of all time, as well as, well, this figure came out last year, but I got him this year, so Commander Class G1 Optimus or 86 Optimus, whatever I'm called. My second favorite figure of all time. But it's truly great how many good figures they released this year, but at the same time, prices have increased. There was that big 4-month period when, at least in the US, prices were horrible for most Transformers, although you could mostly find Transformers pretty easily for the same prices that they were. But now we have, at least since a month ago, I think, we have now gotten more price increases, except it's on a different thing. Now, Deluxe Class is, at least in the US, this is US currency, mind you, $28. Voyager's an insane $43. In fact, actually, let me grab something real quick to prove my point of why this is stupid. Alright, I'll be back. Oh, fudge. So, Redgar. Got him a couple days ago. Found him at a Walmart. I paid $44 for this guy without taxes. 44. Technically, it should be 43, but they had him at 44, 43, 48 for his without tax price. But either way, this figure is a pretty much just a reuse of the existing Trashmaster figure, who is currently like $20 on Amazon. So if I could just make my own custom head at that point. Even then, this mold isn't really great, so it's like, but either way, like 43 is insane for Voyagers. But let's get back into the prices. Leaders are $60, which actually isn't horrible. It's only a $5 increase relative to their $55 price without $60 price. So it's not horrible. And then Commanders are now 100, which again isn't horrible, although I wish they increased the prices at all. But you know, we get what we get. Titans, I'm not fully sure what they are now. I don't collect enough Titans to really realize what they are, but they're still expensive, obviously. Prices unfortunately increase all the time. It's just a fact about life. Inflation exists, and when it happens, it happens. But yeah, prices have been tough. In fact, recently I quit collecting Lego because of the prices. Because I still have a couple Lego sets, mind you, but you know, I quit collecting Lego. I don't like getting new sets often. And now it's like, do I want to quit Transformers? I'm not going to do it. I doubt, or at least I highly doubt it. I love Transformers so much, and the price increases are not nearly as egregious as Lego's unfortunate price increases. Republic Juggernaut for $160. But anyway, Transformers are such fun things to collect, but holy crap, Hasbro, you gotta get your distribution in check. I have not seen, okay, here's some figures I have not seen yet. So we have Skybite. Let's see, I haven't seen him. I think, like, here's the thing. If you're not looking on Amazon, I've got most of my figures, not most of them, actually, but a good chunk of them are from Amazon. Like Skybite, for example. I already mentioned him. I could find none. There was not a single Skybite I could find. I have only seen him on Amazon. That's it. That's the only place I've seen the Age of the Prime Skybite. And then we have Red Alert, who I think there was like 5 of him at my local Walmart. And then there was one day where I went into the Walmart, my local Walmart. I found, I think it was 12 G2 Grimlocks. I get the figure, you got the 86 re-release, but holy crap, 12 of them in one shelf, mind you. It's unironically the craziest thing ever, bro. Like, this was the same problem as the 86 Bumblebee had as well, and it's like, I can't talk enough about how bad Hasbro's distribution is. It's horrible because so many figures took me so long to find. Like Scrapper and both Scrapper and Scavenger, I had to buy them for heightened price on Amazon. I think I almost paid $50 for flipping Scrapper because I could not find a single one of him at all in a Target, a Walmart, GameStop, anywhere I checked. That's crazy to me. And yeah, but let's stop complaining. I want to talk about how good this year has been for figures. Like I already said, 86 Megatron. Megatron is Prime. Probably the best Age of the Primes leader we currently have. Although I have like 2, so, you know, we're going to have to see about that. Leader Optimus, the Age of Extinction version. Then we got Superion. I also finished Devastator, but I don't have him built up right now, so we're just going to ignore him. Either way, this year has been so good for getting new figures and reissues. Like, okay, next year I will talk about like what I want next year, but I want to see a reissue of 07 Jazz, 07 Ironhide, maybe 07 Ratchet. I want to see some reissues. I also want to see reissues of the War for Cybertron, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, and maybe Barricade, although I'm not really too fond of Barricade. Mainly because I'm trying to finish my collection of Gamer Edition figures, which I have. I currently have all 3 Seekers. That's actually got finished my Seeker collection this Christmas. But it's such a weird. It's such a good year for figures themselves. Like I already said, not great for everything else, but for figures, we got so many good figures. Age of the Primes is probably the best line. Well, it's hard to compare, I guess, but so far it's better than Legacy for me, albeit haven't gotten all the. I haven't really. I started at the end of Legacy, and obviously I was here fully for Age of the Primes. But either way, Age of the Primes is such a good line. Like I said, we got Superion, who looks great, mind you. We got Megatronus. We got a ton of other Primes, although they're not near to what Megatronus is. I haven't gotten Onyx Prime yet, though. I do want to get Onyx Prime pretty soon. But either way, great year for new figures, reissues. We got Shockwave, Dark Moon Shockwave. We got the G1 Grimlock. What else did we get? We got 86 Blaster pretty recently. I got that in November. We started the Revenge of the Fallen Devastator back up we started again with the More Than Meets the Eye collection Scavenger, and with other More Than Meets the Eye collection figures, we had the Perceptor figure. I managed to get the Gamer Edition Megatron, War for Cybertron Megatron. I have the old version of the War for Cybertron Optimus. I'm not going to sell them. I'm just going to keep them. I don't want to buy the new one because it's not really enough differences for it to be warranted, so... I'll probably, if I feel like I want them that bad, I'll pawn the old one off, get the new one. But at this point, don't care that much. But either way, we got a lot of good reissues this year. Like I said, favorite figure of all time, Dark the Moon Shockwave. Great Studio Series figure, even if he wasn't my favorite version of my favorite character. So, it's just a lot. I guess since I feel like we should talk about this, let's get into the model kit business here. Let's move this down. So, over the year, I've been looking at Blockies as well as Yellow Park. I got 2 Yellow Park figures right now. I got Scourge and Starscream, specifically G1 and Starscream. There's only one Scourge, but Blockies, I've gotten, like, a bunch of Classic Glass figures along with like a huge ton of these small little Galaxy Edition figures. But either way, I think the model kit business, or the model kits, are low-key kind of underrated. I don't think, obviously for some people it's not exactly the greatest because you can't transform them. However, you trade that off for usually good, or at least good prices, as well as insane posability. Like this figure, a figure of this scale that's like $20. A figure of this scale would be probably like closer to like $25. He's probably a little bit taller than Bumblebee, so he'd be a little bit more, but he wouldn't have nearly as much posability. Like this guy is about frame. He's about like 2/3 the height of Devastation Optimus here, but he just looks good. He also has good accessories, although he should have come with switchable hands. But that's not a diss on the figure. Plus, I got bigger figures. I got Megatron. One Megatron here. I gotta pick him up. Sorry. There goes Dirge and Megatron, or that's D16. I don't know what that is. I'll pick it up later. Anyway, this guy's a lot larger. He's closer to Optimus' height. I think he's about... Let's see here. Yeah, he's a bit closer. Yeah, it's hard to tell though. Anyway, figures this year have been great. I love the model kit business, or I love model kits a lot. Obviously, the AI garbage they did for Black Friday, don't like that. I was literally considering like just not buying anymore. But as I think, at least I know Yellow Park apologized. I'd have to see if the apology was real or not, though. Because let's be honest here, I guess to be fair, Hasbro itself has been using AI. They used AI to make like these $4,000 figures, bro. I swear, these guys are really trying to peddle the stupidest stuff. But either way, alright, what's this? Oh, this is just this is just Megatron's shin, or D16's shin. But either way, wow, it's hard to believe how good you had it this year. Hasbro has done their work. except for the prices. But they've done their work. They've done their work. That is something I will say. They gave us some great figures. Even with the price increases, they are still great figures. And it's hard to deny how good we've had it. Like I said, though, I just don't like the prices increasing. It feels like I'm being priced out of my own hobby. I had this with Lego already. I'm tired of it. It's now happening with Transformers, and it's making it worse. Like I said, I copped out of Lego. I stopped collecting Lego. At least Lego Star Wars. Lego Ninjago hasn't had it as bad, but there's still insane prices for a lot of this stuff. And Transformers is also feeling something like that. It's not as bad right now. However, I don't expect it to get better anytime soon, especially with how much some people just don't care about the prices. Obviously, it's hard to boycott these businesses with how many kids like the businesses or like these toys and like all these products and stuff. You know, sometimes you can't resist yourself. You want to buy that new Transformers figure, but you know, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, and I just don't want. I don't want to stop collecting Transformers, but it feels like I'm being priced out, which is exactly the problem. And there's also the fact that they're not improving a huge amount with the figures. Some figures are just stupid. Like Energon Universe Optimus. You get Commander Class Optimus with a Megatron arm. And no trailer with a blaster. I don't think there's an Energon axe. For $10 less than you get a Commander Class Optimus. Mind you, he comes with this big fat trailer right here. And there's obviously the figure, great posability. And then you get Roller here. That guy fell. Here, let me grab him, my foot. You get Roller, and then you get a bunch of accessories. You even get Blast-Effects. And you get exhaust for the bottom of his truck. That's not going to all come in the Energon Optimus for $10 less. That would be a leader figure. If anything, it should be $60. And that's what the new leader price is, mind you. But then we got the other one, the Nemesis Prime, the Armada Nemesis Prime. I think it's like the same price as the original Commander Class, which you could make bigger, mind you, with like a trailer. But this other one comes with mini-cons. Like, come on. This is like a ripoff. Either way, though, I cannot wait to see what they have in store for next year. We've already seen some of the best figures, some of the best versions of characters. Like, we got the new 86 Thundercracker releasing next year. But then we also have some bad figures like the flipping Voyager class Alpha Trion, who's not even... I barely consider him a deluxe, if I'm being completely honest. That dude is not worth $43. He's not even worth 30. He's not even worth 35. So why would he be 43? Either way, we're going to end off this video here. I will see you guys probably next year. But anyway, bye-bye.